vlog, if you couldn't tell from the title, is about underrated things to do at Disney World. Now, the way I've kind of set this up is it's going to be 5 things at each park, and basically 3 things are the first 3 are just going to be, you know, general attractions and stuff to do that we think get, you know, not necessarily a bad rap, but maybe just aren't the most popular things. You know, they're not the big ticket items, but we still think they're a lot of fun. And if you watch the videos of if you watch Stacy when you're down there, you know, I'm talking about, it's on your Disney must-dos. Also gonna throw in what I think to be perhaps an underrated restaurant at each park. At the end, it's gonna be kind of a, I guess kind of an insider tip. It's not something you might think to do, so it's not necessarily like it's underrated per se. Well, I'll just, you'll see when we get there. So let's start with the Magic Kingdom. So those of you who know me and Brittany know that one of our favorite things to do at the Magic Kingdom, in a way to get off our feet, is Mickey's PhilharMagic. If you don't know Mickey's PhilharMagic, it's located right behind Cinderella's castle. I guess it's in New Fantasyland. It's right by the carousel. Either way, it's a theater area. You know, you walk in, it's like a movie theater, and then it's really fun. It includes a lot of 90s Disney stuff, which Brittany and I like. It's got references to Little Mermaid, Aladdin, a lot of fun stuff like that. Not to mention it follows Donald, and we just love Donald. But it's also a great play. There's never a long wait for it. Great place to go and get off your feet, especially on those hot summer days. Get in the air conditioning. Another one, and I know, like diehard Disney people, this is not underrated to you, but I think in the general population of people who go to Disney World, this one is underrated. But diehards, I know you guys wouldn't underrate this at all. And I'm talking about Brittany's favorite ride at the Magic Kingdom. 3 seconds while you remind yourself what that is, because you guys, if you watch our vlogs, you know what it is. That's right, I'm talking about the People Mover. It's Brittany's favorite ride at the Magic Kingdom. And obviously you see the comparative wait times, even just in Tomorrowland compared to Buzz and Space Mountain, not to Stitch, but even sometimes Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor has a longer wait than the People Mover does, just in the Tomorrowland area. So that's Brittany's favorite, and we think, at least as far as the general population of Disney goes, it's a little bit on the underrated side. Also one that we feel is underrated, also in Tomorrowland, doesn't have much of a wait, but again, diehard Disney folks, you guys know there's no way you could skip this. Carousel of Progress, of course, one of the OGs. You know, it's designed by Walt Disney. We love the Carousel of Progress. It's definitely on our must-do. And like PhilharMagic, and to some extent like the People Mover, it's a good way to get off your feet, get in that air conditioning for a little while and cool off on those summer days. Now, gonna get to a restaurant that I think is a little bit underrated. It is only slightly underrated. No, I'm not going Tony's on the Square. No. I'm talking about Columbia Harbor House. It's actually become mine and Brittany's kind of go-to quick service restaurant at the Magic Kingdom. It's big, so it's got a lot of places to sit. You can kind of tuck yourself away and be quiet, you know, for a while. And there's some windows you can overlook New Fantasyland or towards Haunted Mansion and, you know, that kind of area. But the Columbia Harbor House is actually really good. Highly recommended for, and like got a decent variety of food. Kind of an insider tip from us, this is our last one, that you might not think to do, and perhaps if you're there at this time of day, you might be trying to get in some other stuff, but something that we've wound up doing without ever planning to is pretty much every trip, we wind up spending some time in the Storybook Circus area at night. Now, you probably saw some recent vlogs, I think it was this past week. I think it was a week ago today. If you're watching this today, this comes out on Monday. You saw us when we got to watch Wishes from Dumbo. And that was pretty sweet, I gotta say. This was one of the coolest Wishes experiences. It was totally not planned. We just went over to Dumbo and we're like, oh, hey, Wishes is starting. So, highly recommend Storybook Circus at night, mostly because I think most of the rides, of course, cater to younger kids and me. So, all the younger kids, you know, if you go at nighttime, if it's 9 or 10 o'clock at night, they've already gone home for the day, or they're camped out for Wishes, or if there's a, you know, time of year for a nighttime parade. So highly recommend that. Now we'll move on to Animal Kingdom. Of course, I'll just hit these quick because I feel like I'm kind of going long here. Of course, the 2 dino rides in Dino Land, Primeval Hurl and Triceratops Spin. You guys know we always ride those, and Brittany freaks out on them. It's a lot of fun for me. Also, it's tough to be a bug. That's a really cool show, actually. We really enjoy that one. Not to mention, you get some great views of the Tree of Life when you're in line at Animal Kingdom, but there's never a line for it. Always a 5-minute wait. So, feel like that one's a bit underrated. As far as restaurants go, there's not a ton to eat at the Animal Kingdom, but one that we've really kind of found as our go-to that you don't see a lot on the like recommendation site is the Yak and Yeti quick service. Forget exactly when was the last time we went there, but anyway, check that one out. Also, Flame Tree Barbecue is one that's really good. That's where we had Thanksgiving dinner, but I would say Yak and Yeti quick service. You don't hear about it a lot because there's the table service. And then I would say our kind of under the radar, maybe tip one, and we kind of did this later, was the Flights of Wonder show. You know, there's not a lot of places in the Animal Kingdom to, again, get off your feet for a while, and that's one of them, and it's all shaded, and it was really cool. I highly recommend that one. So we'll go to Epcot. Of course, our number one most underrated is Figment. I don't know why you guys don't ever have a big line for Figment. We love Figment, Journey into Imagination. You guys need to love Figment just a little bit more, but I know you guys do, right? We're not talking about you. We're talking about the rest of Disney you, but not you. One that we actually did on our, our trips all run together. The Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. I think we did it in July. It's actually right next to Figment. We've never done it before. We kind of thought, yeah, whatever. We went over there, it was great. It was actually kind of 4D. There's a little bit of kind of shaky floor kind of thing going on. So yeah, highly recommend that one. Again, you probably noticed a theme here. Good to get off your feet for a while, and good to get in the air conditioning for a while. And then of course, the other one, and you guys know this is on our Disney must-do list. We do it every trip. It's in the Land Pavilion. Of course, Soarin' is in there, but which one is underrated? Of course, Living with the Land. You guys know we love Living with the Land, and we always do it every time we go, and we always learn about plants and agriculture and all that fun stuff. Our underrated restaurant, again, a one we frequent every time we go there, is La Cantina, the quick service restaurant in the Mexico Pavilion. You guys know Brittany and I love splitting those nachos and sometimes nice cold beer, get a nice water view. It's nice, not to mention it's right on the edge. It's on one of the outer rims of the World Showcase, so if you're not feeling like you want to navigate the seas of the World Showcase, you can just duck in to Mexico, get that, you know, maybe go do Three Caballeros, another underrated ride, but it didn't make our cut. Sorry, Donald, I love you though. Then you can swing back out and you're right back out of there. Now here's our underrated thing you might not have thought to do that's kind of an insider tip, and that is, we did this into great success. Just go to Soarin' during Illuminations. Now you guys know me and Brittany, hey, if you like Illuminations and it's your thing, by all means, go watch Illuminations. It's not our favorite nighttime show. In fact, it's far from it, not even close to the top. So we would just hop on over to Soarin', and we did it once last time, and we could have done it again. The wait was down, it was only like 20 minutes or so, but we were kind of at that in-between time. We're like, well, we could do it one more time, but we're planning to leave afterwards. So it was like, we do it one more time, and then we'll get caught in the rush of Illuminations, or we could get out quickly and get ahead of it. And we said, we'll just get out quickly and get ahead of it. So, final park is, of course, Hollywood Studios. Now, of course, there's a lot of construction going on, so this list is a little harder to put together just because there's not as much stuff to sift through. So we'll get through it. I think the most overrated thing to do at Hollywood, or most underrated, not why I keep saying overrated, most underrated thing to do at Hollywood Studios is actually the Frozen sing-along. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to have a 5-year-old girl to enjoy it. Brittany and I love it. It's great, and man, everything I'm underrating is inside and air conditioned. Frozen sing-along, great place to get inside in the air conditioning, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. And again, you don't have to even really be a Frozen fan to enjoy it. You guys know me and Brittany, we're not even huge Frozen fans. And of course, this one for me, I'm sure Brittany disagrees, but I'm making this video, so I get to choose. I'm gonna go with the Muppets. I think they are massively underrated, and I love that ride. Well, not a ride, experience. I love the Muppet Show. How about that? I think it's a lot of fun, and it never has a wait. Also, speaking of shows, this one might kind of work its way up now that the remake has come out, but the Beauty and the Beast show is never one that you hear people like, oh man, I gotta go do the Beauty and the Beast show, which is weird because it's actually really good. So actually, I admit, I was in that crowd for a while. It wasn't that I had anything against it, it's just never like on my priority list. So we actually went and saw it, and I'm like, man, that was really good. So hey, Beauty and the Beast show, underrated. Now, going back to the Muppets, there's a restaurant now that I believe is fairly underrated in it, because the one time we went there, it was deserted. talking about Pizza Rizzo. Now I also want to throw in here, I think Mama Melrose, as far as table service goes, a little bit on the underrated, but since we're going overall underrated, I'm gonna stick with Pizza Rizzo. It's where Pizza Planet used to be, and the menu, as far as I can tell, is basically the same. It's pizza and salad, and, you know, cold drinks and stuff. It's little personal pan pizzas, but it was pretty good. Brittany and I went there, had a good time. We really enjoyed it. Now, our last might not think to do great insider tip for Hollywood studios, and that is, drumroll please. This is my drumming. I'm so good at drumming. The second showing of Fantasmic. Now, of course, it doesn't happen every night, but if you happen to be there on a night that there are 2 showings of Fantasmic, go to the second one. Nobody else does. Seriously, Brittany and I have had so much of a fun time. If there's a second showing of Fantasmic, you don't need a fast pass, you don't have to be queuing up out in the front 2 hours ahead of time. You can just walk up like right before showtime, and there's plenty of space. Now, of course, I can't 100% guarantee this. Like, you know, nothing is a whole guarantee, but seriously, second showing of Fantasmic, just go do it. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So, let me know, you know, do you agree with any of our decisions? My decisions, Brittany had nothing to do with this. These are just, I guess, my opinions. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you agree, if you disagree, if you have anything that you think is a little bit underrated, whether it's a ride, whether it's an attraction, whether it's a meet and greet, whether it's a restaurant. Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys later.